Yeah. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and Pastafarians, and friends and people, and soon-to-be friends. Welcome to the radio show. It's me, Schizophrenic Mitch.
Hello.
It's our 33rd episode of this season.
Yeah.
The 14th day of August, which turns out to be the day that school starts around here. So all the neighborhood kids are gone. My Facebook was also blowing up with fucking
First day pics, probably.
pics of people, mothers taking pics of their kids and telling the world how old their children are. Yeah, I forgot to do that. I just slept through it. My kids got on a bus at 6:09 today, and I was like, bye.
I took a picture of them.
Oh, good for you. It's crazy, though. Fucking state of the world. Oy. Was it dark still? Was the sun down?
No. The first few weeks it's going to be light, and then it'll be dark the rest of the time.
For a couple weeks, the sun is up when they get on the bus?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Send them off to the gulag. It's fucking Dickensian what we're doing to these kids.
And I'm like, stick together.
Scream if you see any mountain lions.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got my Bing and my Bong here. I've got my prescription medications. Here's some of them. And I've got my very, very, very cherry cola. A necessity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're not even streaming at this time anymore. This is not the time that we stream. We don't. I'm just here now to let people know that schedule's changing. This isn't when I'm not waking up this early anymore. 10 o'clock. Fuck you, 10 o'clock. I'll see you again in May. Fuck this shit. So yeah. Anyway, that's my stream. We're shutting down. No, I'll do it now. I'll stream now. But tomorrow, I'm not starting at this time at all. When this time is happening, I'm going to be awake. I'm going to sleep in my bed, snoring away. Fucking not doing shit. So, yeah, fuck. I came all the way into this part of the video with no music ready. Fuck, it's the worst. So we're just gonna have to listen to what YouTube is suggesting here.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. Just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days that I thought would never end. Seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time. My back turn towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you, thought I'd see you smiling now.
Every 80s one. Oh fuck, there's a fly in my area. Damn it. That sucks. I fucking hate flies flying about around me. I hate that that happens. They fly.
You.
Yeah, they like land on my skin parts and I can feel them and I say, hey, don't land on me. I hate it.
Yeah. Like when you're sleeping, that's when I hate him the most.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
you out of
gosh.
sleep because they landed on your face.
Oh fuck, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Okay. Joe was just, right now, she was all like, you know what I really would like to hear is a second song. And I was like, well, we like to do 2 songs in a row sometimes.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kinda tired of packing and unpacking, town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be, just maybe think of me once in a while. Heading up that highway, leaving you behind, hardest thing I ever had to do. Broke my heart in two, but baby, pay no mind. The price for finding me was losing you. Memories help me hide my lonesome feeling, far away from you and feeling low. It's getting late, my friend, my love, I miss you so. Take good care of you, I've gotta go. If you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kinda tired of packing and unpacking, town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be, just maybe think of me once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati.
Damn! That's some good times right there. Whew! I don't know if you have seen WKRP in Cincinnati, but it's on jumptheshark.com. From now, we will is when we will normally stream, starting now during the winter months.
The autumn and winter.
Well, it's all autumn. It's all winter here in fucking Colorado. Eh? The snow's going to start in a day or two. But yeah, during these school time months. We won't be streaming during this hour at all. This is not our regular streaming time. I don't know if I've been clear about that yet. But that's why everything's breaking down, I bet. The fucking...
Yeah, they're like, you should be...
Internet's all gling-glongy, and the fucking... my music's not ready. Yeah. I feel sleepy. Snot goblin. I did take my prescription medication, so that's good. Mm-hmm. So, for this show, it's going to be the nap show. So, everyone get ready and we will take a nap. Don't forget that everyone should take naps. My dog is taking a nap right here. He's making eyes at me, saying, "Why are you waking me from my nap?" And, I must confess, I don't know.
Yeah.
Putting all my shit away, I did go preaching yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, got an hour and a half out there, and, done some good work. Let's edit some of it, eh? It's gonna be super hard to edit because I've recently took down one of my monitors, so I'm not 2 monitors as in anymore, and so fucking it's gonna be very, very hard to do this thing like I'd done before. Oh, in fact, I'm not even sure it's fucking set up for that, eh? You know, because of
OBS won't show this.
Oh shit, guys. This is bad news. Alright, wait. Maybe if I do this... Let me check some of these properties. Monitor, there's only one monitor. Alright, let's have a look. Bop. Look, you can see my OBS. Isn't that cool? Look at this, guys. Look how self-referential this is. What if we put that here?
Whoa!
Yeah, you like that? What about that? Whop! It's weird.
I can't see comments, though.
We cannot see comments. What if we do this? Man, it's very hard to figure this out. That's alright. Let me know if you comments, because we're looking at this for a minute. So let's cut out the front of it.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Skizzer and Mitch. Here I am on the mall, 16th Street Mall, where I usually go. I got my brand new Jesus Light sign, just drew it. Got an old please join my cult sign. It's been defaced. Who knows where that happened. One of my many adventures. Today is Tuesday. I was able to cut out a couple hours, hour and a half of fucking preaching on the street. So obviously, Flying Spaghetti Monster has someone in mind for me to talk to, so let's go meet them.
Alright, pardon me now while I do a bit of editing. Please don't mind me while I delete out all this shit. Because it was about an hour later that we met some people. And then, so... I'm going to be all complainy here. Just a little bit complainy. So I don't know if you can see it, but here's what happens. I'm chilling, and this guy in the yellow shirt with his friend in the Shepherd Ferry shirt hear that I'm saying something about Flying Spaghetti Monster, and so they come and talk to me. And then, while they're talking to me, first of all, see, when someone's talking to you, this is a street thing that you really notice on the street, that when someone's talking to you, it's so much fucking easier for a second person to just be interested. And this is why there's just definitely shills, you know? And so, if you want to shill for me, let me know. It really will help. You shilling for me and just, like, asking, just sitting there and, like, looking at me. Not you, Joe. I'm not saying you. I'm saying you Pastafarians out there who really want to help me out with the work. You viewers here. I know you're watching. I can see you. That's you right there. See that line? That's me. I'm watching. And then, boom, I saw it. I saw that you showed up. I can tell that you're listening. Yeah, you're who I'm talking to. How do we get back to, oh, there we go. I don't even want Facebook. Why is Facebook even open? Alright, don't read my Facebook, guys. So, anyway, be my shill. Come down and shill for me, because then I'll be able to talk to the blue shirts. But see, then right after, right after I start talking to these kids who are very interesting, and I'm talking to them, this chick right here walks by and then is called to defend them, and so she joins this conversation for many moons, so much that these boys walk away, but you know, they stuck around for 7 minutes, very kind of them, and so they're like, we gotta go, and then we keep talking to her. Oh, what happened to the sound? Oh shit, is my sound fucked? Did I fuck up the sound? Let's have a look.
The one true cult. The cult of flying spaghetti monster joined today.
That's fine, the sound's fine there. So what happened here?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't find the end of it. We're gonna have to find the end. Whoa. Oh shit, that's scary. Alright, let's watch this and edit it. Like, lightly edit it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Schizophrenic. Hello there, would you like to join my cult? Have you heard of the flying spaghetti monster? The one true cult. The cult of flying spaghetti monster joined today.
Whoa, flying spaghetti monster.
That's right, you know the Pastafarians. Oh, that's a great shirt you've got right there. Some of my artistic, I've stolen this from Shepherd Ferry, the star with the sort of, I stole that straight from it. Yeah, my girlfriend over there drew it for me. But my YouTube.
I guarantee you are Shepherd Ferry.
Hello there.
Hi, what did Jesus lie about?
He lied about hell. There's no such place as hell, and he lied about it to try to get people afraid to they do what he told them to do.
Yep.
Well, the prophets also spoke of hell.
I'm a prophet.
You are.
I am a prophet.
Okay. Well, have a good night.
I have a message for you from the Creator. Do you want to hear it?
So I guess there's no one to blame but myself. Because she was like, alright, well, have a good night. And I should have. But instead I wanted to, like, impress these kids here and be like, look how cool I am. I can talk to anybody about it. But, yeah.
Talk to any bullshit Christian.
Yeah, she tried to interrupt us. I'll interrupt her. Yeah, I don't know. It was a bad idea. See, guys, I'm still capable of bad ideas. Even yesterday I done some. If you can believe such a thing. That we would have.
No, I really don't want to, but I will hear it.
Okay. If you worship a god that's ever asked for war or murder, you worship an evil god.
He does not ask for war.
Has he ever asked for war or murder?
Is he asking for everything?
Is he asking for Armageddon?
We're the cause of all.
Everything that's in this world has to be his cause.
Well, yeah, but that's I agree with that. But what I'm saying is,
created, but then we were just let go after that.
That's a possibility. Maybe he's an uncaring
That's
creator.
our free will. That whatever higher being gave us.
But if
Doesn't
you've
matter
ever-
if it's a god, an elephant, a flying spaghetti monster,
Or a
this
teapot,
kid,
an
a
invisible
teapot,
unicorn.
I don't give a whatever. We did this though. We did everything, but we
we
did it
are
wrong.
responsible for the directions we are
but
headed.
You do have a point. We are sinful, rotten human beings in
missed
the
out this
eyes
time.
of God the Father who created this world.
But in our
God
next life,
Almighty.
I think we'll be better.
The next life is
If we
the
are
next life.
forgiven.
You're two choice. We really don't even have a choice for our next life. But the next life is heaven or hell.
What if it's oblivion?
No,
What if you're wrong?
According to
That's too
according to
bad.
the
I hate
Bible.
that.
Cool, but
according
I'm
to
a
God's-
prophet, and what I'm telling you
Well,
is you're
according
wrong.
to the
Came back.
according to the Bible,
Cool.
there are no prophets.
Cool, but I don't believe the Bible. Do you know why?
Right.
Do you know
And
why I don't believe the
that's
Bible?
Why we totally disagree.
Right, because you think this is not true, right?
but all the
I do not think
I
that
don't-
is true.
Cool, but I think this is true. So how
Right.
can we come to terms? How can we have an agreement if you
We
believe
can
this?
have an agreement because I can respect your belief.
Are you
but
sure
I'm
you can
telling
respect
you
my
our
belief?
is wrong.
Cool, but is that respecting my belief? Because when I tell you your
Yeah,
belief is wrong, does that
be
mean?
civil about it, right?
Cool, but so when I tell you you're wrong about the Bible, am I being civil?
I think you are because
wrong.
we're having an agreement,
Cool.
or we're having a discussion.
Cool, and now if I take it a step further and say that in God we trust on the money is talking about Jesus, and we need to remove it because I don't trust Jesus, would you help me out with that? Or do you think
that makes
In
it's
God
going to
we trust,
stay?
but that's our
Christian
government,
country, I think
right?
it's
Right.
Our
A
government,
universalist country.
people who are basically controlled by God.
Yeah, I really should have got this kid more involved. He was going to be more involved. I don't know why I focused in on her. I really do, when Christians come around, I really do just get sort of like tunnel visioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the guy I was supposed to talk to and I fucked it all up. Yeah. Fuck. Sorry, Flying Spaghetti Monster. I ruined everything. Again. That's why I need someone else out there. Hey, helping me out on the streets. Fucking someone else. Come to Denver. Anyone, any Pastafarians in Denver? Let's preach. And then you can talk to the crazies and I'll help these fucking kids here.
Or you can talk to the crazies and they
Yeah, I'll talk to the crazies because I guess I'm one of the
keep them
crazies.
distracted.
Yeah, and you could, I'll keep the crazies away from the people who want to listen to the messages.
Put that on there, and that's
Against the First Amendment.
That's God's plan, right?
But I don't want God's plan. I don't want your God's
right
plan on our money.
Free destiny.
Do you know why I don't want your
my
God's
free
plan on my
will.
money? Do you know why I don't want your God's plan there?
Why? I don't know. Tell me.
Because remember, you respect my beliefs, right? I let you know, because he's a liar like Muhammad is. You wouldn't want it to say, in Allah we trust, right? That would be gross, right?
Exactly,
God's
because
Bible,
even though it's in the
God's
same
word
religion,
is different.
it's all technically
Different than the
it's
Quran?
all the same religion.
Different for you,
God,
because you
the same
believe it.
Jesus. It's in my eyes, all religions are pretty much like the exact same.
I would like
It
that to
all
be the
falls
case.
under
They're not.
Muhammad, and
They're not.
like in the end, it follows the same
That's where
gods.
your lack of knowledge. You're saying this stuff out of lack of knowledge, on your lack of knowledge. So
Those are rat shoes.
they are red shoes.
Yeah.
I was in AP World Religions. Thank you very much.
But still, but God has not shown you His way.
By God,
yet,
do you mean
because He has
Jesus, though?
Whoa,
yes, because
But Jesus is not God.
yes,
Because he
we
lied.
have God the Father, we have God the Son.
No,
and we
you have
God.
God the Son.
But that's
I
what
have
the Bible
God.
says.
Right, but I don't. Remember,
Right.
you've got to respect my
The reason
beliefs
that I
because I
think
respect that you
Satanism
believe it's true, but you've got
But
to
you're
respect
asking me a
that.
question.
Is because
But no, I'm saying when you say God, you mean Jesus, and so you've got to stop meaning that because we
No, I
don't.
don't have to stop meaning it.
Because
That's what I mean.
But that's not what I mean. So if we're going
I
to
know
agree,
that.
if we're going to agree on what God
You don't have
means,
to agree.
so you've got to
the
say
God
Jesus
is in
then.
yourself.
Because I'll say flying
Jesus
spaghetti
is
monster,
God.
and you say Jesus, and neither of us will
Jesus
say
is
the
God.
word God because we disagree about what God is.
telling you what I
Jesus is
believe.
God.
Right, but do you see how I'm trying to find a language that we can agree
I think
on where there's
Jesus is
no
the prophet.
conflicting
That's where I think
definitions? Do you
Jesus-
see what I'm trying to do there?
Jesus is God.
No, he's not. He was a prophet just like me.
So you don't
Father,
believe
the Son,
in
and the
you
Holy
don't
Spirit.
you don't believe in the Bible, right?
The Bible wasn't like.
I think
taken
the Bible.
seriously.
I think the Bible is an
The Bible is
interpretation of a
meant to be
part of
taken
like
literally.
all the books.
But what I
Think
thought
about
we
it,
could
the
prove
Quran,
that
like,
there's something in the
think
Bible
about how
that
many
didn't happen.
reference
Okay.
Muhammad.
Let me
Jesus
share one
would
thing
be
before I go.
No,
Jesus
I'll
is
let
not
you,
black,
only
he's
if you let me
brown,
share
he's
one
white.
thing.
I will.
before you go.
Can I?
So you share one thing and I'll share one
Okay,
thing.
so without being interrupted,
Yeah.
I would like to share one thing. Okay, so do you agree that we are sinful people in the eyes of God, the Creator?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't, if you're wondering.
okay, so he's agreeing because he took this class and he
No,
did
I just
understand.
think humans are horrible.
Yeah, we are.
We're capable of, yes,
Yeah,
very
I mean, some of us are
things.
better than others. However, we are all sinful people, right?
Yeah.
It depends what you mean by sin, but continue, I don't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. So we're kind of having a discussion too. Okay, so God demands total perfection. He demands that we abide by His law.
Cool, but when you
100%.
say God,
That's
you mean
what the
Jesus.
Bible. I also do because it's three beings in one. That's what the Bible.
All right. So
Father, Son,
Holy
you're saying that the Creator
Both
demands
say that's
perfection.
God. Father,
Well,
Son, and Holy Spirit.
God
He demands
the Son,
obedience.
God the Holy Spirit, God the Father.
Cool. But you're
Three in one.
sharing a thought,
It's just a broad term.
and your thought contains.
My thought
He wants us
contains-
obedience.
No,
He
sorry.
demands.
None of us can be obedient.
So
God
he-
demands to
If we
total.
had-
Just
demands-
one second.
Yep.
So God demands total perfection.
Perfection.
And in that perfection is Him Himself, who was created to be man, because Jesus is God, God,
And none of-
and also human, right?
I think we're all God.
Because He was created. in
That's what you're
human
claiming.
form.
I agree
Yes,
that that's what you're claiming.
of
Yes.
course.
There's no one
Right.
God. We
So
are all
He was
God
the
to
only one
ourselves.
who could
I really
satisfy
wanna go
the
to
wrath of God,
McDonald's.
because He, in His
I'm sorry,
obedience,
but
He walked.
Great conversation. You guys have a
100%
wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I look forward to your comments online, on YouTube. Thanks for stopping very much.
Yeah. So He demands 100% perfection, right? And that's what Jesus Christ did. And that's the only person who
Cool.
could ever walk and who abided by His laws 100%. And we cannot. Okay, so that's the God of the Bible. And
Okay.
that's who, yes.
Okay, and
So-
here's what I'm going to share with you.
Sure.
The Bible's as false as the Quran. You're as evil as a Muslim. They are evil people, and Christians are evil. Sorry. I can help you give it up.
I do believe that the Quran is evil.
Cool. And you believe that Muslims are evil.
I believe every person on this earth.
Cool. And you're just as bad as the Muslims because you follow just as much mythology as they do.
Yeah.
And you've got to stop.
I would say that I'm also just as bad because I'm sinful.
Cool, but that's you already had that in your mix, because I'm not adding that to my mix. My mix is Muslims believe in mythology, Mormons believe in mythology, they believe in an evil book, so that makes them evil people. You have the same problem. The Holy Bible's not holy, it's evil. And if you worship it, you're evil.
So well, that's all right. You're fine with that.
Cool.
I'm okay with that.
Right, because if I was okay with that thing you said. That's correct. Because I was okay with you saying that Jesus was perfect, even though I definitely believe it was not.
Yeah, sure.
So, how would we find out which of us is right?
Well, we'll find out when...
Before we die, how can we know?
We won't.
I know.
Because that's what faith is.
Okay, I don't need faith. I have truth. Can I give you truth?
Truth is in the Bible.
No,
there's
word. Okay, there's some truth in the Bible, but if there's also mythology, then that means it's false.
We're not talking about mythology. We're talking about what the truth is.
But the book of Genesis is mythology.
But the book of Genesis is all about anything in the Old
Genesis,
Testament.
Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. These were all written around the year 550 after the Hebrews were in the Babylonian captivity. It's all mythology, stolen from the Babylonian mythology.
It's not mythology.
It is.
It is all shadows. His word is, Jesus is in every book of the Bible.
No, he's not.
It is. He is.
There's no Jesus in the book of Deuteronomy.
And that's because God has not opened your eyes.
No, because there's no Jesus.
Right.
Right.
It's Jesus Christ.
Jesus, the so-called Christ.
Christ.
What is a Christ?
Messiah, the Savior of the world.
Cool. No one's going to save this world except for you and me.
Christ already did that.
No. Look at it. This world is not safe.
Of course he didn't.
You and I must save it. It is our responsibility. And you're selling away your responsibility to mythology. And because of that, we're not going to save this Bible.
So how do you think you're going to get to heaven?
There's no such thing as heaven. I've told you this clearly already. I told you what happens when you die. Did you hear me?
So, no, I didn't.
Oblivion. Now, find a prophet that tells you as truthfully as I have. You find truth. Because I have told you only truth today.
Oblivion.
Same place you were before you arrived here. Do you recall it?
No.
Was there misery? Was there joy?
We don't know. No, of course.
That's where you will be when you're done here. Your existence is from birth to death. Your infinity is from there to there. We're inside of it.
So you
still
think
can't
you
make
can
it.
Change the world?
I know we can, and it's ours to change.
Yeah.
And if we don't, it will burn.
Yeah.
If we let the God of the Bible burn it, there is changing. I probably have changed you a little bit.
Love.
Well, how do you measure love? Have I loved you here today?
Sure.
Thank you.
Because we've been respectful with
That's
each
correct.
other.
Time spent together, trying to come to an understanding. This is how we measure love. Now try to measure the love of your God. Time spent with you, trying to come to an understanding with you. There is none. I've loved you more than your God. I've loved you more than Jesus. You say that Jesus loved you, but I can prove that I do.
You sins from me, and that's what Christ did at the cross.
You have no sins. Unless you've murdered someone, you have no sins worth talking about.
I do have a sin.
The sins that you have committed, you can take care of because you are minuscule to the Creator. You are meaningless. Your sins are meaningless.
Thank you for your view, and that's where we had to depart.
Cool. Thank you for your conversation. Your name was?
Casey.
Casey, I'm Mitchell. Thank you very much.
Hi,
and you were very patient. Thank you very much. See you online.
Alright, I'm very, very, very disappointed in my behavior during that. I'm really embarrassed about that. I shouldn't have talked to her at all. Hey, when she walked away, I definitely should have let her. That kid really wanted to talk, and I was laser focused on her, and I did not hear so many things he said. And I heard everything she said, but why? Right? Like, why was I... Why? Fuck. Shit. Sorry, kid. That was a total fucking fail. And I suppose I'm going to have to go back down to town as penance next time I get there and hopefully talk to that kid again. Reading Heights says, lurking and spying on the show from work again. I knew it was you. God damn it. I knew it was you sitting there being all quiet. Cincinnati Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. We just were listening to the WKRP's theme song. I want to come to Denver so bad. We would have a lot of fun. Hey, you let me know. Come to Denver, and next time I'm in Cincinnati, we definitely will go first out on the street, and then to Canham Town, and fucking go ham on that. Here's some WKRP in Cincinnati, in case you're from Cincinnati.
Wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kinda tired of packing and unpacking. Town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be. Just maybe think of me once in a while. Heading up that highway, leaving you behind. Hardest thing I ever had to do. Broke my heart in two, but baby, pay no mind. The price for finding me was losing you. Memories help me hide my lonesome feeling. Far away from you and feeling low. It's getting late, my friend, my love, I miss you so. Take good care of you, I've gotta go. If you've ever wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kinda tired of packing and unpacking. Town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be. Just maybe think of me once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati.
Lol, lol, lol. Cincinnati Church and the Flying Spaghetti Monster says, she was a good conversation. I enjoyed that. I'm glad. Because, yeah, we hit a couple of points. She's made a couple statements that are good. As far as, like, look, I got a Christian to confess that, I obviously love her. And, you know, I was able to say my thing much, much quicker than hers. When she was like, let me share one thing, she was like, you're a sinner, God demands perfection, Jesus was perfect. So she shared a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And I just shared one thing, which is people who worship evil books are evil people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're one of them. I'm sorry. And, you know, I mean, maybe that's two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
She did ask too, so that you think you can save this planet then?
yeah.
I was like, yes.
Well, I mean, if
We
anyone can
can,
save it, it's
together.
us. Who's
Yeah.
going to save it?
We
are.
created
right.
this. We can clean it up.
That's
we
right.
just have to clean it up. We have to look at it.
Yeah, we have to confess that it's our responsibility,
Yes, that's what I mean.
and then we'll be like, well,
just that
fucking
C word gives me the willies.
confess. You don't like confession? Confession is a very, very important part of religion. Always has been, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's part of the repentance process. I was thinking about this idea the other day because they talked about it all the time in Mormonism, the repentance process, and you know, that it's still a thing that you do in your life. It's the apology process,
Yeah,
eh?
it's the self-reflection.
Right. It's whatever process has apologies in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the one where it's like, oh, whoops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's like when you're driving around in a new place and you don't know the roads very well, and then you're like, oh shit, dude, was that a stop sign? And like, no, it wasn't. It was like, phew.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, okay, I'm going to be looking for more stop signs because I'm in a new place. I'm going to be checking these things better.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's the same thing as the repentance process. It's like, admit that you aren't perfect, right? You know, confess that there's like flaws and that you'd like to get better at it. You know, and point right at it and be like, that's my responsibility.
Yeah.
But the only difference between, you know, just going through life and apologizing for mistakes and making fewer mistakes or cuter mistakes, you know, more fun mistakes in the future. The only difference is there's no perfect person that allows you back into heaven. You know, like that's not part of it.
Yeah.
We don't need that. Like you don't need a Jesus to become a better person. You know, you don't need divine intervention to learn how to apologize and choose to be you're always choosing which you want to be, right? You're allowing yourself to be the you want to be. And so, you know...
Sometimes it's stuck on a story you wrote when you were 10 or 15.
Or 4,
yeah.
is what I hear. I hear that when we're very, very, very young, we hear very primitive stories and we attach to one. We start telling us that story with our lives.
Wow.
And, yeah, I hear this from Theremin Trees. He is into a thing that he calls transactional analysis, and it was written by a dude in the, I don't know, the 60s or 50s or something. And that dude claims that we are all just acting out a fairy tale that we identified with at a really young age. And he suggests that we are able to change it, the story that we're telling.
Yeah, I fully believe that.
Yeah. And and he also suggests that the stories are kind of different than the way we view them. Because if we're talking about Rapunzel, the story of Rapunzel, there's a wicked stepmother, a wicked mother, right? A witch. That's what it is in Rapunzel. She's sold to the witch, right? So she's in the tower, she's got the long hair, the witch owns her. Rapunzel isn't allowed boys. A boy shows up. She's being rebellious. She lets the boy up with her hair. And the boy's all like, let's go. And Rapunzel's like, yeah, we can go, but instead, how about you just come back and visit me whenever I want you here? And the boy's like, okay. And then one time, she lets the witch find the boy, you know? And then the witch punishes the boy, and then Rapunzel stays in the tower, and then the boy comes back eventually, and they kill the witch or whatever. Or the witch dies, or Rapunzel... the story gets weird at the end, right?
It changes depending on what book you're reading.
Right. She cries on his eyes, he's blind, walking around, someone pecks out someone's eyes, I don't know, it's weird, it's creepy. But the point is, Rapunzel's in control, right? And she's in this fucking gross relationship with the witch because she chooses to be.
Yeah.
You know, you cut your hair, you make a rope, you walk away.
Yeah.
Right? The first time the fucking boy comes in, you can escape, right? And Rapunzel sticks around, has repeated for fun, right? So she's in this tower, she's protected, and she's enabling it, and pretending like she's not making a choice. And so, you know...
Also being a martyr, you know, she's the slave, the captive
pretending
of the
to
witch.
be, yeah. But she's not. She lives in the place she chooses to live. And the sap, the patsy, is this boy who's like, I'll do whatever you want. And like, she's like, well, I want you to get caught this time and then deal with the consequences. And like, it all falls on him, and you know, she's bored of him at this point, and so something new, and is like, oh well, watch, I'm gonna explode into drama and cut his eyes out, and oh wow, that was exciting. And then she gets to stay in that safe tower because she is afraid of the world, right? She only brings it in one boy at a time.
Yeah.
She can walk right out, and so, you know, a lot of times these stories are not the stories they seem to be. It seems like she wants to leave. And the boy almost rescued her, and oh well, but no, she betrayed the boyfriend to the witch. It was her so-called innocence that got him caught, but he was the innocent one. He doesn't really understand the threat of the witch like she does. Lives there the whole time. So, and then it's like she hates the witch, but she doesn't. She accepts her help. She is comfortable in her love, right? And she stays there while the guy is cast out with his eyes out, wandering the world, and she stays there until she literally can't anymore. So unfortunately, the stories that we are telling aren't what they look like. And so you really have got to not worry about what story you were telling. I don't think you have to fucking decipher that riddle. I don't think that's important.
Yeah, your past story.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to. I think you can be wondered. You can wonder.
Yeah, definitely be curious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, point out your faults.
Yeah, but I don't think you've got to get to the bottom of that. But you can just fucking tell a different story, right?
Yep.
And since you're an older person, it can be more complicated, right? And pick a fun one, right? You pick one where you're the good guy, right? Like everyone does in their mind. Everyone thinks they're the good guy. Is that right? Are there some people who are like, actually no, like I'm the bad guy?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
I think that people assume they're in the right, which can mean good guy, but they also know that they're either a sinner or their parents have told them over and over again that they're shitty people.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to live like their parents' story, which their parents believed they were shitty.
Because the story that the mythology that we're all telling is like the Christ story, right? But a little bit different because Christ is perfect and we're not, right?
Yeah.
So it's more like the Abraham story or the Moses story. But in the Christian world, the mythologies that are hitting us really young are these self-sacrificial. Joseph Smith's story was a big deal for me when I was a young person.
Yeah.
So if I was to look which one I was probably living out, it was that one, right? And so that's why, I had these crises at like 33, 38. It's when Jesus died, it's when Joseph Smith died. It's like, wait a minute, my story should be ending up right now. And it's like, no. I live to be 80. And I was like, oh shit, that's totally different from the thing I was acting out.
Yeah.
So, stupid, right?
Yeah, I believed that because my parents were so weird and odd, that's how I was going to be all my life. Like, it was just a given.
You're very weird and odd, Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're right about that curse. You are cursed.
Cursed.
Curses, everybody! Oh, my apologies. I'm drinking the very, very cherry cola. So yeah, we're going to be sticking around a long time today. Maybe. We can stick around until 2. This could be a 4-hour show. I don't know if I've prepared for that. I don't have any fucking notes at all.
We just finished editing.
Yeah, we just finished editing our whole entire work for yesterday. We are double fucked. Anyway, listen to this.
She shadows me in the mirror. She never leaves on the light. And some things that I've said to her, they just don't seem to bite. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. She tricks me into thinking that I can't believe my eyes, that I wait for her forever, but she never does arrive. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. She said, leave it to me. Everything will be alright. She said, leave it to me. always out making pictures. She's always out making scenes. She is always out the window when it comes to making dreams. It's all mixed up. 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 She said, leave it to me. Everything will be alright. She said, leave it to me. Everything will be alright. She said, leave it to me. Everything will be alright. She said, leave it to me. Everything will be alright. It's all love. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up.
Those were the Red House Painters. Or, yeah. Yep. They were telling us all about how mixed up it is.
Mm-hmm.
The Aura of Babylon is here again. Thank you for coming back. That's very nice.
Hello.
Very nice. We did not put your... we were editing earlier, and we'll put the animatic in the animation in the fucking front of it, and then we'll post that up.
It's beautiful.
Or Babylon says, I've taken up the witch. She is the archetype I identify with. A princess lives for a man, a witch lives for herself. Yeah, they are, first of all, they are trying to change that Disney princess image of like, no, we're the Disney princesses, we live in a room. So, I don't know if you guys saw Wreck-It Ralph. You see that shit, the second one? Well, all the princesses are in that, right? Mm-hmm. And they're all in a room together, like a harem. And they, C-3PO comes in and tells them what to do, tells them to get back on the stage and fucking making money for the fucking mouse. It really is both message, you know, women's should live for themselves. Get to work, bitches! Fucking sell your bodies, get up there, wear the costumes, not your comfortable clothes, wear what we made for you! Like, the same thing as Jabba the Hutt's doing with, Princess, Leia, who is a Disney princess, by the way, should have been in that room. But yeah, I agree. The witch archetype is a very interesting one. I know at least one post-Mormon who I spent some time with, who was sort of coming out church, who has really identified with the idea of a witch. Terry Pratchett, Saint Sir Terry Pratchett, the late great, wrote many books about witches. His young adult series focused on a witch named Tiffany Aching, who was sort of learning about what it means, and yeah, it's very hard not to just get emotional thinking about all of her exploits. It's a very good series, and of course Granny Weatherwax as well is just gettable.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, many and Nanny Og. Like there's just so many witches that. The Horror of Babylon says the Hag is my favourite, not the sexy seductress, which catered to the male gaze. Yeah, Philosophy Tube did a great episode on witchcraft, gender, and Marxism. Recommend. Do you like Philosophy Tube? That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a homework list of things to watch.
People to watch that we
Yeah.
have to do, homework we have to do.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. This is my homework. 4-hour stream.
No. This is not your homework.
Ah, shit.
This
And
is
then I gotta go
production.
work, guys. That's what. Fuck. Yeah, that Granny Weatherwax is the hag, eh? And she's a very important character on the Discworld. Very exciting stuff that she done. You know, talk to death and shit. You know, she's a hardcore bitch.
Today's our last day of summer stream.
Yeah, this is the last summer stream. We're inside the last summer stream. I'm not sure if we're going to do a full stream today or whether we're going to start them tomorrow. I'm not quite sure about that, everybody. Maybe we're just going until another hour from now. It's hard to know. Yeah, especially because I've got to probably eat like a sandwich or something. If we're doing later streams, which we are starting tomorrow, we're starting an hour from now, right?
Yep.
My stream's going to start at
Correct.
noon our time and go to like 2:30.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even 3.
Maybe even 3 in a very candid way. And I find that to be not just refreshing, but, you know, I think it's the way to go. Like, the conversation has to move forward, and it moves forward right through that statement, is what I'm saying. If people are moving through that statement, they're moving forward, right? The ideas of like, no, here's my experience with addicted substances, and you know, when I try to get off them, it feels like burning my skin off with a blowtorch, and it's like, oh, well, that does sound incredibly unpleasant. I have not yet had that sensation, and I do not envy you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me more, please. And so I do like that about him a lot. Telltale, we're talking about. And then he was, in that same one, he's talking about the 12-step program and how, what the fuck is God doing here?
Yeah.
Why is it here?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was nice to hear someone else say it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I've done a couple interviews already. I'm collecting some interviews about people and addiction and sort of all the addictions we have. I haven't posted any of them yet because I don't have enough yet. I'm gonna get more before I really post any of them. But one of these dudes was really upset that seemed really upset, and he wasn't like, but it just seemed perturbed by the idea that I thought the 12 steps could use some work.
Yeah.
I thought that there might be some superfluous ideas in there, or maybe that it was missing an idea or two.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he was.
didn't seem to be interested in following that thought at all. And so it's nice to hear people who are. A long time ago, there was this dude that I followed who was calling the AA a cult, and then he went back to Christianity, and like, well, you know, he just jumped from cult to cult. He was an interesting dude. But yeah. So Mountain 2 says the 12 steps is just a predatory tool for churches. It has quite a high failure rate. Yeah, I can fucking believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It defeats the whole, you decide you need to change, so you go look for something to help you change. That decision then gets defeated by the 12 step of, you can't do it alone. You have to admit that someone else has got to help you.
right after they've
And
done
you will
something.
always be addicted to this.
They
It's like, no.
They say you can't. Yeah, that's another thing that Telltale said. Is like,
Yeah.
I don't like calling people addicts forever. I don't
Yeah.
I don't think that's helpful. I don't think saying you always have this disease. Fucking
Yeah.
never say that you're not. And okay.
Yeah, 12 steps acts like addiction is the problem instead of the result of
Symptom.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not the illness.
Yeah.
Addiction is not the illness.
And they're
it's a
treating
symptom.
it like it's the illness.
It's the illness. But
Yeah.
the illness is you're stuck in a box.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Somehow, somewhere, you've put yourself repressed
Yes.
in a box.
Yes. You think there's no escape from this box.
Yeah.
You need an addiction for escape.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why we use addictions. Correct? Like, I
Correct.
think that's what we've been
Correct.
figuring out,
Yeah,
like collecting
that's what
all
I
these
think
things.
too, yeah.
Because a lot of the people that I interview about this use the word escape. I was like, okay.
Or control in their life.
Control,
or...
right. And I think that these boxes we put ourselves in, they come from like bad definitions or taking on other people's definitions, but they come from statements that are like, I am a kind person. Okay? It's when these simple statements that we define ourselves about, they conflict. And often they do. And a couple of days ago we were talking to this guy, we were watching the video of us talking to the guy 2 years ago, and he said, you know, if I walk away, he'll just yell at me as I walk away. And so he was like, lose. Like, what do I do here? He said to the people off screen. I don't know what to do here. And so he was in a box, right? He had two definitions of himself that were conflicting and that he couldn't get out. He was servicing these two ideas, and they were so hard. And so one of them could be a thing like, I defend Jesus Christ, right? I do it. And another thing is, I never give up, right? And so just easily with these two very seemingly valuable ideas, you're fucked. You're in a box, and there's no escape. And so, you know, we can really, one way to help out with that is to, is to really soften those definitions, right? To, I'm kind when I want to be, right?
I want to be.
And then you're off a lot of hooks.
Yeah.
And like, I know I can be kind when I want to be.
Yeah.
I know when I'm trying to be nice, it's a fun and giving nice. And I get to choose when I'm nice and when I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'm generally reasonable, but I don't owe anybody that, right? I don't think there's a reason. I don't think I owe.
At all times, you must be reasonable.
Right? I don't owe that. It's just a thing that I do sometimes because it gets me valuable stuff. It gives me the thing I want, so that I'm reasonable to try to get it. But like, if I meet a person in the street, I don't owe them reasonability. I don't owe them truth. I don't owe them an authentic me. I don't owe them anything. I do that shit for me, right? That's why I do that shit. And if fuck them, then fuck them, right? And so these definitions of that we have, and we form them very young. I'm a good person, right? I will always choose the right.
Yeah, I'm the peacekeeper.
Yeah, I'm the peacekeeper.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times, you know, these really bold definitions of ourselves are dog whistles to the narcissist in our life. Look, you can fucking take advantage of me right here.
Yes.
And then you're in a box, and then you need an escape, and then you're fucking succumbing to addictions. So, you know, they tell you that so, because we were just listening to that lady, and she's like, let me tell you one thing, and she had to tell us a whole story, and the story is, you're a piece of shit, and fucking don't believe it.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's when they say you're never gonna get better. Welcome to the 12-step program. You're never gonna get better. You just did. Got a little better.
You did.
They did it before that you even helped them out. Fucking tell them.
That individual got better
Before they met you.
Yeah.
Because they went from where they were and they walked toward you. And you didn't help them do that. They were there alone. The first decision, the first step out was theirs. And it always was. And then it gets taken.
Yeah.
And then they're told nothing you do is ever good. You're only find good through us. And it's like, no. Fucking everyone who got out of a fucking cult was like, you know what, I'd rather have truth, you know? If this isn't true, I think it's not helpful. And that, everyone, it has to be done in the individual mind, right? The 12-step program is saying we can help you, and it's like, we live in a world where only you can help you.
Yourself.
You've got to do it. It's you. You're responsible. Yeah. Jesus can't help you. Fucking AA can't help you. Yeah. Government's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking... So yeah, the 12-step program has too much fucking cult shit in it. And these things are filters. These systems that we have, they're like filters. They collect behaviors that cause people to continue to come back.
Yes.
If there's a behavior, it's like, look, in the 30s we noticed that if we give free coffee, people show up the next week. Boom, free coffee is the thing everywhere, right? They collect these ideas. And they feel like all these ideas fucking sprung out of God's mind at the same time. But they don't. They fucking collect over the
time.
centuries.
All religions and even corporations with advertisements. How to get into people's addictions.
Yeah, you get fucking good advertisements. That shit echoes through the years. You can say "got milk" at any time now. They fucking came up with it one day. They didn't say it in the 50s and the 60s.
Right.
They didn't be like "got milk." They fucking did it in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And now you can say it forever. They collected this this thing that works. I agree, says the Whore of Babylon. I think with everything we say, is what the Whore of Babylon say.
Of course.
Telltale is an amazing channel. He is really good. I like what he does, but I was watching his video about is it a cult or is it a religion? And he's like, hey guys, this isn't a cult, it's a religion. And I'm like, cool, what's a religion, right? Like, why though? Why let some religions off the hook of cult? I don't understand why you would do that. Because if you're talking about cult like a high control group, which he is, because he uses the bite model, and that's what it's about. And so that's the point, is that word cult right there is a colloquial use of cult, a very derogatory use of cult, and that's why we're using high control group instead. And so if we're talking about a cult, a group of people who share fucking rituals, we shouldn't just be identifying all religions as cults. We should also be identifying all sports teams as cults. We should be identifying political systems as cults.
Yes.
Like, instead of getting some of the religions off the cult hook, we need to start putting more things on.
Yes.
Your family. Samantha who says, you can really see a Christianity bleeding through AA. Yeah. And, you know, and the point is, every generation has to keep cleaning it, okay? They have to keep pulling the threads of Christianity out of it. It gets harder to do as time goes on. The generations are less empowered to change it. And B, why don't we just build something that doesn't have those in it, right? Because we're gonna see more and more and more as we go on. We'll have to pull them all out. So why not just fucking start something that doesn't have these fucking Christian roots? So yeah, and you know, Telltale talks about how it's government funded. You know what I mean? Like, it's AA gets fucking court mandated. Jeez, I'd like to get some of our Pastafarian programs court mandated. How fucking rad would that be? Fucking the court telling people, go talk to the Pastafarians, they'll help you. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So how do we get on that fucking list, right? The Whore of Babylon says, pejorative use of the word cult is xenophobic, Christian-centering, and pro-capitalist. Cults are groups of people organized around a common focus and the irreducible version of culture. Yes, that's right. Cult means a lot more than we're allowing it to mean, and so by using only the pejorative word of it, we're not focusing on what we dislike about cults, right? If we're like, everyone's in cults, I'm in 5 myself, you can be in cults. The whole point is don't be in one with fucking murder-suicide at the end, and those turn out to be these religious ones. The ones that are like telling you what happens after you die. The ones that are just trying to give you some fucking wrestling entertainment every fucking Monday Night Raw, that's definitely a cult, but they're not trying to tell you who to be. The cults of personalities in these and then he died in the early thousands, I think. So that would have been cool. I'd like to be a guru in the 80s. Samount who says mandatory ramen cooking courses. We could. Well, yeah, and we can feed people. We were thinking about going over these all of our Patreon tiers.
Oh yes.
And sort of restructuring it based on not only what we would purchase with the money, but also our humanitarian efforts that we would be able to accomplish. Yeah. We've been thinking about having like a shave station. If we were to get about 500 a month, we could open a kiosk on the mall with electricity and I think internet, so that we could stream from our kiosk in downtown Denver all the time. It can always be on, and I can just preach there all day long.
Yeah. And
in the kiosk, we can have a shave station where people come and shave off their beards, because this corporate system we're in is very discriminatory against people who don't have the ability to shave every day.
Yeah.
It's one of the ways they weed out the people who they want to keep below the bottom rung. Is well, if you can't shave every day, you can't work for us. So, you know, it's a sort of very cheap way to help out because there are more expensive ways to help out. One of them, of course, when we get to another level and we can give away free ramen to whomever we want to on the streets. If anyone says, hello, I know you're a Pastafarian, I know this is a Pastafarian temple, that means, of course, free ramen, right? And it's like, of course it does. Absolutely it does.
Yeah.
Everywhere we are adequately funded, you can have a free ramen meal.
And we'll ask Horror of Babylon to film how you make real ramen.
Yeah, out there in real ramen is so good, man. Out there in the Asia is where I don't want to dox anybody, but I've heard from those Asian characters right there that the Horror of Babylon is coming to us live from the east coast of the world. We're out here on the west coast of the map, and then way over there in Asia is all the way in tomorrow, I think. Is the Horror of Babylon waking up to get to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. My kids are waking up at 5, fucking what time?
5:30.
5:30, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Getting on a bus at 6 or 9, and I'm ready to fucking scream child abuse, right? I cannot believe the times that people with real jobs have to wake up. Oi. Oi. Oh shit, Big Secret Weapon, WMD. I think I met you before. Is that right? Have you been here before?
Yes.
Welcome back. If eating bread is a Christian ritual, praising God, why does the Pastafarian ritual so similar when it's an anti-religion organization? Well, a lot of the Christian rituals were based on true and good rituals that the Pastafarians, the ancient Pastafarians, had created and kept in our underground meetings. And many of the original Christians were, you know, high-level Pastafarians that, because they could realize the power they could exert through this structure, they you know, changed it and they brought it out into the light and started abusing families with it. And so their rituals look a lot like ours because they're mocking us, because they were trying to take what was good from Pastafarianism and create an evil mockery of it, an evil mirror. And so many of their rituals look like ours. Yeah, because we eat ramen, which is noodles and soup, you know, together. The you know, every nourishing thing, and it warms you deep in your heart to remind you of the warm noodles or the tentacles of Flying Spaghetti Monster, how he teaches you truth, and the ramen warms you in right about the same spot. You know, it's figurative. And so, yeah, you know, the cold bread, and then they used to use wine because they were trying to get the people drunk so that they could get them to fucking believe crazy shit, and you can believe crazy shit when you're drunk. So like, and wine, here you go, wine, and so, you know,
I'll show you heaven and hell.
aha, get drunk, and admit that you're a piece of shit.
We're all evil, born
You're evil. You're disgusting, nasty. What did she say? She
Yeah.
Was it nasty? She said a couple words that I just couldn't agree with,
Yeah.
and then she didn't care, and that's fine. Like, you know, it's like, cool, I don't agree, and she wasn't like coming from another place. It just had to be true. She wasn't gonna try to convince me that humans are evil, disgusting. And I'm like, cool. No, God doesn't need perfection. He's imperfect as well. That's why he's so great. He's just like us.
Yeah.
Right? He's capable of evil, even though he should choose only good, and generally does. He's a good God, but he's also an evil God because he's what we are, right? He is made in our image, and so we've got to make him like us, eh? We are good and we are evil. Because that's the problem. That's the problem. When people say, are you evil? Have you lied? This is, getting off topic here. Should we listen to the comments here? I'll leave the comments. But when you talk to what's-his-dick, fucking Ray Comfort, right? He's been using the same script for fucking a decade. Fuck, man, right? He'll come up to me like, why didn't you tell me this? Have you ever lied? Yeah, I've lied. He's like, well, that makes you a liar, right? But he forgets that by that math, If you've ever saved someone, you're a savior.
Mm-hmm.
He forgets that if you're counting one, you're counting them all.
Yeah.
Works for the good things you do.
Also.
Yeah, he doesn't allow it to.
Mm-hmm.
When you're kind, that makes you kind. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Your one lie wipes it all out.
Yeah.
Well, Flying Spaghetti Monster doesn't look at you like that, and you shouldn't look at you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one fucking flaw destroys everything. There are some,
Mm-hmm.
There are
There
some
are some,
that you
yes.
can do that will take everything that you've done and render them meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of Americans who are choosing that at the moment. Every good thing that I may have done is for not. I will be only known for this disgusting evil that I do, and that's terrible. Samount who says, I proselytize with ramen cups. Good for you. College students love ramen. That is very good. Yeah, and it's sort of a cheap sort of thing to hand out. College campuses are a very good place for that, and to just start conversations and be like, why are you doing this? And like, just to raise awareness, to convert anyone, just trying to remind people that Pastafarianism is a thing. It's a great idea.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Also,
I'm noting it.
oh shit! Now, yeah, I used to do a sacrament with spaghetti sticking out of a cup, right?
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
It looked good on a table, a cup with spaghetti sticking up out of it, waving to it, and be like, take one. Yeah. Right now I do a placebo bit where I have sort of little packets of sugar that I stamp with the word placebo for passers-by. Sort of hard to set up, you know. I like to be fast and loose. I could have set it up yesterday, thought about it, but then I was like, let's do Action Jackson. I don't think Pastafarian is anti-religion. Anti-theocracy is probably more apt. Yeah, anti-theocracy is probably a good idea. Anti-dogma, we definitely are. But we are a religion, and so it would be self-defeating to call ourselves anti-religion. Anti-false religion. I think dogma is the way that we can get to it quickest.
Yeah.
I personally am anti-Christ. I think that the math that I did to get to the place where a Christ is necessary is false math. And I think that the state of you can't do it yourself, but there is a perfect brother, and it's your fault to be like him, except he had special circumstances, so it's not really your fault. Nobody could do it except for him, and it's really convoluted. I think it's bad math. Also, I think it's not a fun and hopeful story. It's so defeatist and dark and yeah, it causes people to call every human nasty in the street, right? Because I was trying to be like, no, you're especially evil because you worship an evil book. And she's like, yeah, you're calling me evil, but that's fine. I start evil. My very first thing is I'm evil. Yeah. I'm like, no, you're evil because of the book. Without the book, you'd be less evil. And she's like, I can't hear you. My mythology's in the way. I was like, fuck. Because it's a stupid fucking mythology. Because a lot of people point at it and they'd be like, yeah, you're born sick and you're told to be well, right? They tell you the fucking problem with the math. I didn't choose to be born sick. The fucking creator chose a creation where every human is born sick and then commanded to be well. It can't be done. But it is a lot like our reality in that we're all born ignorant and we must overcome it. Right? It's definitely something we can overcome. It takes work and work and work, but we must. The more you overcome it, the happier you'll be.
The lady on the street called those kids ignorant.
She did. She said, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's real fucked up.
Yeah.
Because the guy, and the kid was like, excuse me, AP fucking world religions, that was rad. I should have talked to him a lot more. I should have talked to her a lot less. Right. That is right. And by pagan, they meant not Christian, right? Yeah. It's heathen means everyone who's not me, like it's such a fucking word, because they didn't give shit whether it was Greco-pagan or Germano-pagan or Anglo-pagan. They're just pagan, right? And it's like, cool. They didn't look at each other like they were the same group.
Yeah.
It's like, oh hey, are you pagan over there? And it's like, well, yeah, we're a kind of pagan. We're definitely not Christian, if that's what you mean. It's like, yeah, we pagans, we stick together. No. You know, they each had their own sort of thing that they were doing, and it was totally obliterated by the people who walked in and said, oh no, false gods, we destroy everything with false gods in it. And we get to decide what's gods. So, you know that flower you put everywhere? That's your god. Dead. Smashed. Right? Like, so fucking crazy, these people. Is it heresy, wonders Big Secret Weapon WMD, to enjoy carbonara sauce with my pasta?
No.
No, absolutely not. No, that is the thing about the pasta is, you know, we say the flying spaghetti monster, but we've got to... that's an acknowledgement that we're all going to see him, you know, as a different thing. Maybe he's linguini to some people, right? Maybe like he you know, he looks different all over the world, but like that's because we're different perspectives, you know. So yeah, if you there's no blasphemies here, right? Like all pastas are a celebration of him. All sauces, sauceless, tools. I don't think
FSM understands that everyone has their own unique pathway back to him. And they're going to celebrate it their way.
Yes.
That's why there's no dogma.
Yeah. It would be
It doesn't make sense.
get in the way of your one true path if you were focusing on the dogma on another path. Listen to this right here.
Step out into the sun. Skies above, they radiate me. Lift up, carry the love. Do you know? I've been out of my mind. This slow life, I'm waiting for you to swing me all of your light. Do you know? Since I've been walking solo, dreaming you were back home. High five, getting down low. Hide until tomorrow. Come back into the good life. Lose these hazy love lines. I've been chasing my mind, lonely in the cold nights. Cause I'm kicking up stones without you. Can't pick up the phone without you. I'm a little bit lost without you. Without you. And I'm digging down holes without you. Can't be on my own without you. I'm a little bit lost without you. Without you. Step out into the dark. Where were you when I was trying to lift up, carry the love? Do you know that I've been closing my eyes? Love me slow, hallucinating, swinging me all of your light. Do you know? Since I've been walking solo, dreaming you were back home. High five, getting down low. Hide until tomorrow. Come back into the good life. Lose these hazy love lines. I've been chasing my mind, lonely in the cold nights. Cause I'm kicking up stones without you. Can't pick up the phone without you. I'm a little bit lost without you. Without you. And I'm digging down holes without you. Can't be on my own without you. I'm a little bit lost without you. Without you. Hold me close when it's over. Life goes slow, loving sober. Feel my bones getting older. Sadness grows when you go. Cause I am one step heavy and 2 steps high. Hold it steady with you by my side. 1 step heavy and 2 steps high. 2 steps high. Cause I'm picking up stones without you. Can't pick up the phone without you. I'm a little bit lost without you. And I'm digging down holes without you. Can't be on my own without
There's a train at the end of their video, so we're listening to trains. The subway trains. So, yeah. So, you know, sometimes I watch YouTubes where it's just the music, so that we don't get the extra sounds. And sometimes I do not. Yeah. Well, so we're getting a lot of these, pardon me, these interruptions.
These drops.
These total OBS drops.
Drop, baby, drop.
That's, yeah, that's funny. That song is a olden times song for the karaoke. Fucking St. George classic karaoke. I don't know if you guys do a lot of karaoke in St. George, but the Hawaiian place is the best. Hawaiian Grill. Yeah, Meridian Heights mentioned here about the ancient pagan religions and the Christian holidays. And, you know, there's neo-pagans. That's a thing you can do. You can be one of the new pagans. And I bet you could go to Stonehenge and be like, this is one of our holy sites. Fuck off. We get to worship here. That'd be very fun. I think that was built around the time the flood happened, eh? Fucking, they got up there pretty quick. Ran up there and like, well, let's put some stones here. Pretty sure it was before the Tower of Babel. I have to look all these up. Like,
is this homework note? Should I be writing this down?
No, fuck that. Ugh. We can just do it in our minds, right? Because it's supposed to be 6,000 years old. The Earth was created 4,000 years before Christ, right? 6,000 years from ago now, and so what? The flood was 1,000 years after that. Was it 2,000 years after that? Wasn't it? Oh fuck! This killed Uranus when? I don't know if Zeus killed Uranus. Is that Greek and Roman? Who's Zeus's dad? Galacticus? Ego? I don't remember. Thanos or something? But anyway, yeah. Be a pagan. Because they sort of, you know, at least recognize that we were on a clock. That's a cool thing to notice. We can worship the fact, because worshipping is rituals, okay? I read this magical book, right? That's worship. And, you know, all the pieces, you could say that, you know, that the bong is used in worship. You could say that soap is used in worship. You could say your toilet is used in worship, you know what I mean? You fucking worshiping your body, you gotta shit every day. Your toilet's part of that ritual, you know what I mean? Talking about shit every day, who gets pissed at me whenever I do that? Redonk gets pissed when I talk. But these are your rituals, right? Your exercise is your ritual. Your exercise machine you can look at as something part of your worship.
Yeah. Family dinners
together. Yeah. The plates, right? A part of it.
The part
you can say they're paid worship, right?
Yeah,
and
if you have a certain utensil you love to use, you know, when you're cooking, like
right?
your favorite stir.
Right.
That's a ritual.
And the rituals are a religion and they're built from the ground up.
Yeah.
I said bottom up the other day, you know, as like poop bottom up. I didn't mean that.
I know.
I'm not trying to talk about poop all the time. Ground up. Through your rituals, through your generally filth rituals, right? Like unguarded, uneven designed, right? Subconsciously designed.
Yeah.
Right? Don't, right? Get a hold on those rituals. And, you know, one of the things is that we ritualize is the year, right? Like, that the year happens. We go around the sun, and then we're back to where we started. And that we're on a clock, right? And that's a good thing to fucking guys. That's a good thing to put in your worship is, you know, the chimes on that clock, right?
Yeah.
And if it just chimes once a year, fine. But the pagans cut it up into quarters, and then they cut it up again into cross quarters. And we just passed one, August 1st to 2nd, was halfway between the summer solstice and equinox. The vernal, the autumnal. What is that? Vernal is spring, right? Vernal equinox is the spring one.
Sounds like a name.
and then autumnal. It's a place in Utah, vernal.
Oh, okay.
Autumnal.
I know I've seen it written out.
What's the other word? There's another one for the autumnal, but that's coming up on September 21st, and so we're halfway between the past halfway, and so some people measure the seasons from the quarters, from the solstice to the summer. That doesn't make sense to me. To me, the longest day should be in the middle of summer. So I count from the cross quarters. So you guys might be in summer still, and we'd be like, technically it's summer. And then I say, no, technically, for me, it's fall. Because I count fall from the beginning of the cross quarter. And you can say whatever you want, but those are just different ways of counting. Neither of them are technical.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. I'm in fall. I'm thinking about these cool evening breezes, or these warm fall breezes, you know. But when the leaves are starting to change, and you're thinking, oh shit, right around the corner, the snowfall is gonna fuck us as hard as it can. So that's where I am in my mind.
It's gonna be always cold for the next 9 months.
Oh my god! Big secret weapon. WMD says a famous BBC. BBC, like the British Broadcasting Community documentary from the 1950s made a claim that pasta grows on trees. Are you able to offer an insight to the delicious offering? Additionally, what came first, the Flying Spaghetti Monster ramen or the tree? Well, Flying Spaghetti Monster obviously came first. He existed before the universe existed. If he did create a tree for us with pasta on it, that sounds magical and wonderful. I'd like to go there and eat from this pasta tree. I will check out this BBC documentary from the 1950s. And then secondly, I think like that tree, the pasta tree that you're proposing there, or trees in general, because I think trees, it went Flying Spaghetti Monster trees and then pasta, I think is how it went. Unless you're talking about the pasta tree, because maybe that happened after pasta. I'd have to look at it. So Mount Who says, ramen, as at the most pure form, ramen was planted to grow our pasta trees. Oh, nice. The Flying Spaghetti Monster would have wanted us to have pasta as early as possible, and thus would not have forced us to grow the pasta on the trees. He therefore gave us the pasta. It's very kind. Yeah, there are a lot of these deep doctrines that, although are very, very interesting and, worth knowing, going back and seeing all the mighty works that Flying Spaghetti Monster has done for us throughout the entire history of our language and collaboration. Your salvation is not dependent on it. They're not salvation sort of doctrines. And so, although they're fun to talk about, and this is definitely the place to talk about them, the Rambly Daily podcast that we do, and that we're definitely not doing until 2 o'clock today, because this thing is resetting too much. Yeah. So this is the place to talk about it. But I try not to talk too much. I try not to spend a lot of time here with the visitors, because it really is about like we are morally superior to people who worship a morally inferior book of scripture. Our book of scripture is morally superior to the Bible, the Quran, the Book of Mormon, the Bhagavad Gita, because we have in our scriptures the dogma that there shall be no dogma. And that makes us morally superior to anyone who doesn't have that one. Because that one's huge. That's the one, and although we're not going to, I think that this cult is going to die before I do. I think the lifespan of a true cult is less than a generation.
Yes.
Or about a generation. Maybe a generation's 25 years.
And that's what cults should aspire to.
You
do not continue to the next generation.
That's right. Get out of the way for the morally superior cults that will.
New minds.
That's right. The new minds will be developing better cults, and so I don't know what I was talking about before that, but that. Oh yeah. So we are morally superior. There are morally superior religions on the horizon, and I expect to quit this cult eventually and move to them. Yeah, eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, maybe in the next 15 years or so. When the next true cult comes along, when a truer cult comes along, And of course, we'll be able to figure it out because I'll be out in the streets talking to people, and I'll be like, my cult is true, and someone will be like, but my cult is truer, and I'll be like, oh shit, really? Prove it. And then they will. And what a joyous day that will be. Pardon me. Good gracious, very cherry cola. The Whore of Babylon says, I heard the neo-pagan Hellenists are trying to reclaim much of their pagan heritage and have been at odds with the Greek Orthodoxy, who won't let them worship at their ancestral sites. Yeah, right? Like, the whole idea of, like, which religions get to go back to their original sites is real kooky. Because you can talk to a Christian and you can be like, hey, you know that Dome of the Rock that's been sitting on that fucking spot for 1,200 years or 1,400 years or something like that? And they're like, oh yeah, the one that's going to get knocked down, right? The one that's got to go so that we can rebuild the temple.
Yeah.
The one that definitely is one of the first targets when we fucking start Armageddon. So that we can have our spot back, because that was a Christian church before it was a Muslim church. And we say, so you mean you're going to give back the spot that the fucking Notre Dame is on, because before that was a Christian church, it was a pagan site? And they're like, no. Fuck those pagans. That's a Christian site. It's Notre Dame forever. And you're like, even after God strikes it with fire and tries to burn it down, you're going to keep it as a fucking Christian symbol, even after God tried to burn it down and we stopped him? I think he said give it back to the pagans. Like, why are we listening to Christians and nobody else, right? Like, it seems like Christians get the spots and other people don't.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah. But
Because
they're actually the greatest persecutor.
Yeah, right. There was a hashtag on Twitter that was all like Christian persecution, and all the Christians are like, what the fuck are you talking about, Christian persecution? There's no such thing as that. We're the most persecuted in the world. There's places in this world where Christians are being killed because they're Christian. And I was like, okay, alright, that sounds like you're being persecuted. That sounds right. Maybe you are being persecuted. But are you the most persecuted? Are there places in this world where you can be killed for being Muslim? I think there are.
Yeah.
Are there places in this world where you can kill for being atheist? I think there's more of those.
Yeah.
I think being an atheist is the most dangerous thing you can be if you were to choose a random location on this planet and a random time between the beginning of time and now. If you were to say, who was the most persecuted, out of, you roll that die 1,000 times, you'd be like, you know, was it okay to be a Christian here? And like, it totally was. Nobody gave a shit. Mm-hmm. Was it okay to be a Muslim here? Oh yeah, absolutely. Was it okay to be an atheist in this religious society? Never, never, never! There never was a religious society that said, and you know who else is cool? The atheists. Right? Yeah. They were all like, if we're killing anyone, we're killing the atheists. And the gays probably got killed at the same time.
Yeah, and sex workers.
Yeah, the prostitutes are being killed. The witches are just being killed all the time. So maybe it's actually women, eh? Maybe the most persecuted lot of all time ever isn't fucking Christianity. It's fucking ladies. Mm-hmm. There's still a fucking bunch of places in this world where you just property if you have a vagina.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe the Christians need to chill the fuck out.
And it's property that's sold at 14.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. I would like to have lived a life where I was sold at 14. No, that's not even close to being true. No, that's obscene. That's fine. Sorry, ladies. Sorry about that. Our fault, I suppose. I mean, collectively, our fault. We could have fucking figured it out a lot sooner than that.
Fuck yeah.
1923, fucking ladies got to vote in this country, in this one. 1923, right? Mm-hmm. We're still not 100 years ladies got to vote in this country. Not the most of this country. This country is 143 years old, and for only 90 fucking 6 years, the ladies got to vote. That's not half. It's pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad.
243?
243, yeah. Right? Is that what I said?
No, 143.
I said 243. I'm almost positive. I'm absolutely. I did that the other day. I did that on the fucking 4th of July as well. When I was talking to the camera, I said 143. Oh well, whoops. I meant 243. Because I was literally talking about how it was less than half. And 96 is not less than, or is more than half. 143.
Yeah.
So obviously I knew what the math was. I was just saying it wrong. It's a thing you can do. Simone who says, safest thing to be is a Muslim. They'll kill to support you. In Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Well, yeah. I think the safest thing to be is an American. Maybe the safest thing to be is Scandinavian, eh? Maybe Australian. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah. Ironic.
New Zealand with their cool Prime Minister.
New Zealand with their post-Mormon Prime Minister. Do you know that? She was raised Mormon. She's younger than I am, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's crazy. Yeah. But safest place to be. I don't know. Because I've been to Saudi Arabia, and you know, I think there's a sort of disregard for human life out there.
Even Muslim.
Yeah, just their own. They're all, yeah. Any sort of ideology that really degrades the person and calls them a slave and a sinner and you're just gonna get some real disregard for human life, eh? It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. Humans are really cool, when it comes down to it. Yeah, maybe this planet would be prettier without us, right? We didn't have to fucking build the houses everywhere and the roads fucking everywhere. Whenever we see a place and we're like, oh, who lives here? And like, nobody lives there. And I'm, well, I live there. It's mine. Whose is this? Nobody's. No, it's mine. There's no such, I don't think I believe in fucking owning land, Maybe we humans didn't do a great job here. Maybe the bald spots on the fucking forest are definitely our fault. And from space, this really looks like a diseased place.
Industrialized.
Yeah, right?
Machine.
But we made some fucking cool movies. There's some fucking music to listen to,
some art to look at.
Right? Some fucking moving shit, We,
Emotionally moving, yeah.
Yeah, we laughed and, I'm talking, bowel moving. We've made some pretty things and we've fucking, wept for noble reasons and we've touched the moon, right?
Yeah.
Good for us. Way to go, apes.
We cured diseases.
Right? That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Right? And so, Ray Comfort's accusation of, and, the girl in the street of like, yeah, we humans are capable of great, terribleness. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. That comes with,
Now take your blinders off and see the greatness of
What do we usually choose? When we're enabled to choose good, we do, don't we? When we're enabled to, when we are freed from our chains, we fucking, we don't spend a lot of time on revenge. We move forward, we find things that are joyful and
give meaning to our time right now.
Yeah. The future looks bright and better than the past. I think the lines are going up, except for this one line that's all like gonna kill you. The whole one line of like, what if though we create dinosaur times again and mammals can't live? And they're like, well, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make this into the dinosaur planet. We're gonna give them another shot at it. So, yeah, that seems like what we're doing. Bye-bye, mammals. The end of the mammals is here. The apes were like, you know what? Fuck it. So.
We're sick of this place. We want to be in heaven.
Oh, right. I'd prefer heaven. It's nice here with the rainbows and the fucking, sex and the fucking...
waiting for the second coming.
Right. How about we just burn it and we'll make him show up? All right. So yeah, it's definitely 100% the fault of the goddamn Christians. 100%. Or maybe an American Christian. Yeah, American Christians are making grounds. Like, I think the best time to be was an American Christian during the fucking Prohibition. Just like, we're winning! That was probably the best. Vice had a good documentary, says The Whore of Babylon, about bride kidnapping still happening in Kyrgyzstan. Is it a hard G? Kyrgyzstan. That sounds terrible. And they're one of the stands, right? Stand is a Arabic suffix, right? Land, right? In Arabic or whatever, or country, right? It's like England, right? It's Ingstan.
Yeah.
But yeah. Washington is Washingstan, right? Is a town. Like Washington was named after a town, and then we named a town after him. So that's weird. Top 10 safest countries in the world are as follows. Iceland sounds great, and here it's really pretty too. Also, all the ice is melting, so it's just going to be land soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. New Zealand,
Yeah.
it definitely is.
They decrimmed prostitution there.
Oh yeah, is that why you're moving? No, you can't move. You still can't.
I can't immigrate to
Sex traffic.
Yeah.
No sex immigration. That's
Yeah.
still illegal. If you're a native, you can fucking get out there and hustle.
Yeah.
But you can't move there for that reason.
Yeah, sadly.
Austria, Portugal, Denmark, Canada, Czech Republic, Singapore, Japan, Ireland. Good for Czech Republic, right? They went through some very strange times in the 90s, right? It's very difficult to be there. They're like across the bay from Italy, right? You got the Italian peninsula coming down, and then when you go like that way from it, that's sort of where like the Czech Republic is, like that way.
If you told me Europa country, I would know where you mean.
Yeah, I'm trying to. We'll pull up Europa, Universalis. Singapore, Japan, and Ireland. That sounds great. Let's go to all of those places.
Let's.
Yeah, we should have a if we put a fucking chapter of the Flying Spaghetti Monster in all those places, then we can say that those are the best places because, see, isn't that nice? All we have to do is correlate, and correlation means causation. So let's do some correlation, motherfuckers. Oh shit, I missed some shit. Agricultural Justice, Agrarian Justice is a great read if you haven't read it. Thomas Paine has some good ideas about land ownership. Oh, yeah, I haven't read it yet. Thomas Paine is the one that I would go talk to about, are we allowed to own this land? Is that a thing that can happen? Yeah, 'cause Thomas Paine's one of the, but he's not a founding father, right? He didn't found anything because the founding...
Just grouped in with
Right,
history.
he's called a founding father, but what he was a fucking author that the founding fathers liked. And, you can't really call him, he's not responsible for it. He was just like, wouldn't it be cool if, right? He was more like a science fiction dude. And then the fucking founding fathers were like, we're making it real. And he's like, okay, good luck. I don't know if they even talked to him about it. Was he involved in it? Was he, did letters go back and forth between Thomas Paine and the other people? Oh my god, ancient history, right? 250 years ago, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Can't be bothered, can't fit it into the narrative. My narrative's like five days old. I can't think of things that were going on 5 days ago.
Yeah.
You're talking about something 250 years ago. No, I really should read that. Thomas Paine is one of the guys that a lot of people talk about.
Really? This is safe word.
Yeah, I really should. It's true. What's his nuts talked about Thomas Paine a lot. Hitchens, eh? He also talked a lot about fucking George Orwell, right? He was like, read some Orwell. I feel really, really sad that we didn't get to hear what Christopher Hitchens would say about the election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, because he was very, very anti-Clinton. And so to just hear what he said about the fucking lesser of two evils decision that America was given, it's just it's a crime. It's a crime that we were not allowed that. Fuck you, cancer. You bastard. But yeah, I gotta read Paine, I gotta read a bit more Orwell as well. I don't know if I've got to read Thomas Jefferson or those motherfuckers. There is a lot of reading to do. I apparently have to read Dostoevsky and some Zarathustra. Who wrote that one? Also Sprach, thus spoke. It was Nietzsche. Got to read that stuff. It's gonna be definitely hard. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
cliff notes it. I think I'm
We
just
should
gonna
have
read
like
the
an
wiki.
evening stream where we listen to someone read it to us and then we pause and talk.
Dude, I don't have evening streams. We'll do it. We'll do it right here. This is what we're doing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's 12 o'clock. I'm gonna play a song, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna fucking stick around for as long as I want, which will be I don't know how long. No promises. See you in like 4.5 minutes.
Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. He was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. Just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Yeah, no fool. To keep in silence, I resigned. My friends would think I was a nut, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut. So I went from day to day. My life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'd say, which connection I should cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I'm gonna take you home. Hey, back home. When illusions spin a net, I'm never where I wanna be. And liberty she pirouette. When I think that I am free, watch my empty silhouette, who close their eyes but still can see. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me. Today I don't need a replacement. I tell them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they're gonna take me home.
That, of course, was Peter Gabriel talking all crazy time. Oh shit! Country City is here. Country City Now, you might be here to just run away, and maybe you already have, because I haven't been looking at the fucking chat for 3 minutes,
Yeah,
Country
comes under
City.
the music.
Oh, can't go, can't talk, hi, bye, y'all. Oh, again, Country City. Sneaking in while I'm off to pee. Alright. Do your real American voice video like I always say, every human... I have my real voice in the Lonnie Mathern videos. If you want to go hear it, go there. Every human thinks they all know the answers. Yeah, so do you. Every human thinks it. You have the same problem, Country City. Let's all talk about reality. The reality is all your questions will be answered when you die. No. You misunderstand.
That's incorrect.
That's not what will happen to your questions. Your questions will evaporate when you die. They will not be answered. That's a misunderstanding. You're using the wrong word. There can be no such thing as landed property originally, Pain. That's possible.
Yeah. That's the theory of we should be moving every year. We should be living in the areas where we work.
Oh yeah, well that's a proposal. I mean, that's just a sort of like a satirical like. Guys, I think what we're doing is wrong. I think we can have other options.
Mm-hmm.
What if this? What if we had a thing where you moved every year? What would be different? Would we be better? Would it fucking fundamentally change what it means to be a human? I don't think so. And we would probably be more responsible stewards of the land that we're on. You know, instead of calling ourselves owners of the land, let's just call ourselves stewards. You know, I think there's lots of things that we can do, lots of ways we can see it. The Whore of Babylon is quoting tons of Pain here,
Nice.
and we'll read them here. But first, let's point and laugh again at the moves by Country City to literally wait until I announced on the fucking thing that I was gone for 4 minutes. See you in 4 minutes, I said. He's like, hi guys, I'm here, bye guys. And all right, Country City. Oh my gosh. But, you know, I don't know, it seems like, you know, you're trying to string us along, but Country City, we're streaming every day. Like, you've got to confess that you're the one who's falling for our trap, showing up every day to say something.
Yeah.
You're getting a check mark. It's ritualistic what you're doing, Country City. And it's a Pastafarian ritual, because you're doing it here in the Pastafarian meeting. So, you know... Country City, we don't lose anything by this. You might be trying to frustrate us because we want to talk to you so bad. But you're really just flirting, you know? You're not frustrating us, you're just maintaining our erection, you know what I mean? You're just edging us, Country City. And I like it. So, now let's come to terms with Thomas Paine. Man did not make the earth, I agree. And though he had a natural right to occupy it, he had no right to locate as his property in perpetuity any part of it. And I think perpetuity means after you die. Is that correct? Like, perpetuity perpetually during your life? Like, you shouldn't be able to say for any moment that, like, tomorrow I shall own this place as well? Or perpetuity, when I die this will still be mine. Neither did the creator of the earth open a land office from whence the first title deed should issue. That's a very good point. Who sold who the first property? Every proprietor, therefore, of cultivated land owes to the community a ground rent. That very could be possible. Because maybe we are America, and maybe we as the government own all of the property in America, and maybe every property owner is really just renting that property from the government that we are. Right? Maybe we're renting this place from ourselves. Well, I mean now, not when Thomas Paine was writing. Separate an individual from society and give him an island or a continent to possess, and he cannot acquire personal property. He cannot be rich. So, inseparably are the means connected with the end in all cases, that where the former do not exist, the latter cannot be obtained. The means and the end. Where the means do not exist, the end cannot be obtained. All accumulation, therefore, of personal property beyond what a man's own hands, man's or woman's, own hands produce, is derived to him by living in society, and he owes on every principle of justice, of gratitude, and of civilization a part of that accumulation back again to society from whence the whole came. Right, and that's why the fucking very high tax rates, or the very rich should be paying very high tax rates, is because they are allowed, what they are allowed to, the industries that they're allowed to own, as it were, or develop, are enabled by the society that we have cooperated, we have co-created. And so, you know, the more you get from it, obviously, the more you owe it. And if you're getting from it ridiculous amounts, well, you know, you got to pay the ridiculous amounts tax, right? The oh shit, this system's totally imbalanced tax, right? Whoops, this is an unbalanceable system, so we'll just have you pay 90% of everything over $1 billion. How about that? You can make $2 billion, but just pay 90% of the second billion. And the third and the fourth, right? No problem. Yeah, no, I very much would like to read this. This sounds great. And you are quoting from what? You're quoting from Agrarian Justice. Is that correct? Yeah. I will look this up. I'll get it on my Kindle, I think. Right? All these very, very old books are free on the Kindle because they are the copyright. They're in the public domain, right? And I like the public domain. You know. I think it's a great idea, and I think that Walt Disney has been abused by the Walt Disney Company, and his name they are, you know, lengthening the copyright laws such that their copyright doesn't move into the public domain where it definitely belongs. What with it being about 100 years old now, you know? Like, you know, fucking Walt Disney did not think that Mickey the Mouse would be copyrighted this long, and it shouldn't be, right? And so I think that the thing that they're using to get through, around that right now is that they use some clips from Steamboat Willie as their icon when they start a movie. There's a lot of times a clip of Steamboat Willie. And so they're saying, well, you know, that can't go into the public domain because we're still using it as our trademark image. And, no, you're using the 80s Mickey. You're not using the ancient 23 Mickey. That guy had different shapes and different movements, and you use a modern Mickey. And that was created in the 80s. Yep. So, suck my dick. So I think we should be able to use Mickey Mouse as a public domain image. I think that fucking corporations have poisoned all these things, and that's the thing, because corporations, they have life expectancies of 100 years, 500 years is how long the fucking Tea Corporation, the fucking India Tea Corporation, right?
Yeah.
Was 500 years, and they had like governments and police forces and shit. And, you know, they're like, no, it's got to last my whole lifetime. And it's like, no, because the lifetime means a human's lifetime. Because this is the measurement. We measure it by human age, not by corporation age. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am going... This is Pain, continues the Whore of Babylon. Every age and generation must be as free to act for itself in all cases of the age and generations which precede it. Oh, yes, absolutely. Agreed. The vanity and presumption of governing beyond the grave is the most ridiculous and insolent of all tyrannies. Right, and we have to confess that when we write a will, that's what we are attempting, right? When we're like, here's what I want you to do with my stuff when I'm dead. I want to set up a trust so that the money for the next 100 years goes out this much to this thing. And, you know, resist the urge to do that, right? Turn that urge from fucking wanting to control it after you're dead, turn it into, I'm going to spend it well while I'm here, right? I'm going to do good with it while I have a will, right? Instead of having a paper that says, well, I finally have a will now, you know, have a will while you live, and you will be happy. When man ceases to be... Oh, wait, I skipped one. Man has no property in man, neither has any generation a property in the generation which are to follow. And this is one of the this tyranny, this generational tyranny, is very important. It's a problem that we have with it's religion as well. That's why you're allowed to put the poison of hell into your child's mind, is because you are, as a parent, parents are tyrants over their children. For a very long time, you're literally wiping their asses, right? And so they just feel like dolls. They feel like property, and maybe they are until they can wipe their own ass, until they can feed themselves, or until they can speak to you, or until they can walk around. Like, I'm not trying to tell you what the line is, but I'm saying that changes quick, right? And parents who maintain that sort of tyranny do no favors, right, for the next generation. The ownership of the mind of your children is a we're still getting a lot of these reconnects. So, maybe I'll start another song. Yeah. But I very much like this Thomas Paine stuff. I'm gonna. You say the second section was from The Rights of Man, or that whole, because you put two sections, and I think the first one is from Agrarian Justice. So yeah, the we were talking about parental tyranny, and so you don't have to be a parent. It's not a rule. Flying Spaghetti Monster didn't say, okay, I made you so that you can have babies. That's definitely not what he's saying. And if you worship a God that says that, rethink it. Taking breeding advice from old blood gods is dangerous, to say the least. You should choose if you want to procreate, and don't let anybody tell you chose wrong. It is your decision. There's nobody else who can make the decision. It's you deciding how many kids to have, and whatever you decide is cool. I mean, unless it's 12. 12 is just too many. That's crazy. Don't be crazy. But yeah, if you are a parent, and you are thinking to yourself, "Oh, I see now. I will always be the caretaker for this person. I will be a mother forever, and I should always remember to mother this person." No. People only need a mother for a very short period of their life. Probably shorter than we want to confess as mothers, right? So let's not mother beyond the need, and mothers become friends, hopefully. This tyranny of generations is nonsense, and make it, and you won't have to, you won't have to program your kids when you're making a mark on this planet. When you're making your mark, right? You won't have to put your mark in the minds of your kids. You won't have to live on through programming your kids to be the best you that you imagined, right? Of like, well, I was a Christian and my kid's going to be the best Christian. Instead of doing that, just be the best you, be the loudest you, trust that you're making a mark on this world that will never be fucking erased, and then you won't have to fucking hide it in your kids. You won't have to take from them who they are. You won't have to believe in the parental tyrannies that the patriarchy preaches, right? It really does preach, listen to Abraham, he was the best of us, right?
Yeah.
It really does preach, go back along the male lineage and listen to your ancestors, they know better than you. Oh, they definitely don't. You know better than them. Your morality is much better. They would go to war for really weird things, really racist things. The Whore of Babylon says, that's right, the quotes are from Agrarian Justice and The Rights of Man. I shall be reading those. Those are, right, these are things, and, I invite anyone to go out in the street and quote these things, right? It doesn't have to be loud. Bring your book and for a moment or two quote these things on the street, not for other people, but for yourself. Feel how it is to broadcast, proclaim, and pronounce these things and profess, right? If you think something's true, speak the words of the prophets in the streets. That's where they should be spoken. Also here we are as well. There are many places to do this, and, be as loud as you dare. In fact, be a little bit louder than that. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You get arrested. And they mean, alright, I won't talk so loud next time. Alright, but I'm going to end it right here, both because our audience seems to have waned, and because these blinky blonks have not gone away. The disconnects, random disconnects. And they are quite, you know...
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Interruptible.
Yeah.
Mood killer.
Yeah, disruptive, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's a little bit more music, and I will definitely see you tomorrow right around this time, right around noon. 20 minutes ago, 24 hours, 23 hours and 40 minutes I'll be streaming again. So, thank you very much for coming. I very much enjoy it, especially when the Horror of Babylon is able to be with us, because the Horror of Babylon has been supporting us for a long time, and in quite a substantial way. Our animation that we use was given to us by Horror of Babylon. Very kind, and it's good to be here, and of course, you know, everyone who's always around. I mean, you know, you fucks that always show up. No, I mean, Samautu and Meridian Heights always hanging out with us, and, you know, that's fun. It's a lot of fun. So we'll do it a lot more tomorrow, and we're getting into the full autumn sort of rhythm, and we'll figure out what that is, and we'll let you know as things become more normal. See you soon very much. Thank you very much. See you soon very much. And goodbye.
Salvation Army band played, and the children drank the lemonade, and the morning lasted all day, and through an open window came, like Sinatra in a younger day, pushing the town away.